Hey, good morning, good morning. What up, Facebook? What up, IG? It's your girl, Sheree Robin, live and live in color on this wonderful Wednesday. I'm super excited as always because I'll be happy about life. So that's great stuff, right? And so this morning, how are you guys doing this morning? Hello, hello. Hi, Simpiwe. Hello, hello. I am having a great morning so far. Everything is fantastic. I want to get into some stuff with you about perception and writing and what that means for you as a writer. But first, I want to talk about my wonderful and crazy 7-year-old who waited this morning to tell me that she needed Valentine's Day cards for her class. Y'all, maybe I should have known this as a parent, and that's my fault. But she literally walked into my room about 35 minutes before it was time to leave and was like, "Mom, it's Valentine's Day." I said, "Oh, I know. Happy Valentine's Day." And she's like, "Yeah, I need cards for my class." And I was like, "Okay, you didn't tell me that you wanted cards for your class." And she was like, "Yeah, I need them though." I said, "So what do you expect me to do?" She said, "Go buy some." That's what she said. "I need you to go buy some." So you want me to run out to the store right now and go buy you some cards for your class? That's not happening. What you could do is go make some cards real quick. She said, "I'm on it." So she run in the kitchen. I get the construction paper. I like, "Here you go." I help her cut out hearts. I'm helping, right? So we get the list. She has to write their names, write her name, and her friend's name, and then love lyric on the card. She gonna say as she write, "It's hard to have 2 jobs." Really? So I finished this. My heart is beating all fast because I'm trying to get this done for her because the bus comes in about 6 minutes at this point in time. So I still got to pack lunch, clean her face, make sure her edges is laid, get her ready to walk out the door. She gonna say, after all this, I'll finally take a minute to take a deep breath. She gonna say, "It was good working with you." Really? Really, Lyric Olivia? That's my child. So that is my morning. And I want to say to parents, it is such an interesting place to have to tap into your creative genius for your children. At that moment, it was like, we're going to have to figure this out, get some frozen heart-shaped stickers. And here we go. Everybody in class, have a great, happy Valentine's Day. So that had to happen this morning. Despite everything else that's going on in life, you still have to be a parent and take care of certain things because Lyric is just, she got me like that the other day too. We were on our way out the door. She said, "Mom, it's the 100th day of school. I need 100 something." I was like, 100 what? 100 what? She said, "Oh, I need 100. I need 100 something." We had to go run back in the house and count 100 grapes. Yeah, real fast. Hurry up, count the grapes, count the grapes. That's what my child does to me. Okay. So yeah, yes, it's a balance. Such a strange balance. So give me 1 second. I will answer that question for you. But what I do want to talk about this morning really is perception. I want to talk about perception, and I want to talk about how you are being perceived in the industry as a writer and what that means for you. Perception is huge. Perception is what people take away from what you present to the world. Good morning, Nigeria. Perception is big. The way that people perceive you is how they receive you, is how they open the door for you, right? So if you are writing, well, most of the people who I come into contact with are writing or aspiring to be writers, you have to think about how you want the world to perceive you in the way that you compose what you put together. And by that, I mean your topic, whatever this topic is, right? It can be handled in various ways, right? That's why language is so vast, because we can all have a story, but it's how you tell your story, that really, really matters. So if you want to give people information, if you want to share something, it's all in how you do it. So here's my examples, just to make sure that this is illustrated clearly for you guys. If you are writing a story about, I had a client that was writing a story about like Alzheimer's or something, and she wanted to add a comedic spin to it. So her position on it was to give information, but give it in a funny way so that people would receive her as witty and charismatic and lighthearted, because that's how she wanted to be perceived. I have another client who is a very, very brilliant woman working on information that requires extensive research. She wants to position herself as an authority. So she needs to be received and perceived in the industry as a game changer, as somebody who has a whole lot of information and a lot of knowledge. And the way that she gives it is, this is what's happening, these are the results of that, and this is what we need to do moving forward. It's very straightforward because that's her audience. That's who she's talking to, and she needs to be perceived by them as someone who is not playing any games with y'all. I ain't come here to play. I came here to give you this information and to make an impact. That's how she wants to be perceived in the world. So it's important for you to understand that your story matters, but how you tell it matters also. You know, are you coming across on your pages sad and depleted and depressed? Are you coming across confused? You know, are you coming across the way that the things are put together, your stories are put together, or the content is structured in your book? Does it leave people unsure of if you know what you know or not? Are you coming across bossy? You know, there's a lot, people want to give tips and stuff for people to move forward in their lives, but are your tips like, do this, do it now, and slow down? Are you coming across a bit aggressive? You know, that's all in how you are being perceived, because if how you're being perceived doesn't line up with your vision, you're not going to get to the end. Let's say you want to be a thought leader. You want to be a game changer in the industry. By a show of hands, you know, how many people in here want to take their book and their story and want to speak? You want to be a public speaker. You want to reach and mentor people. Let me know if that's you, that's me, that's me. I want to reach, I want to teach, I want to speak to people. So in your writing, you need to come across as someone who knows some stuff. You need to come across and be someone who is aware, someone who's been through something and is able to take that something and turn it into a lesson, into a message. So you have to come across as a conscious and an aware person. Yes, perception is very important. Absolutely. So you have to be perceived as someone who can handle that. You know, if I'm reading your book and you are, like I said, you're unsure, or you come across aggressive, or your points are like, I don't know why you didn't get this, guys. This is so simple. Anybody could do this. If it's really sharp language that you're using, somebody reading that might not want to put you in front of their teenage women who need help. Or there might be someone who needs to hear that works in the prison system, and they need you to come and talk to some young ladies who got some aggression issues. It all depends on how you want to be perceived in the world, you know, and that really, really matters in how you structure your content and what you give to the world. Does that make sense for you guys? I hope that that's clear and understandable. Let me know if that's something that you can access and that's relevant or real for you guys, because it's a matter of the heart. Really, really, really matters, and how you want people to receive you. If you are, you know, short-tempered, and that comes across in your writing, you might want to work on that before you go out here and say that you want to speak and mentor people. If you are someone who writes on a surface level, where it's just, you know, this is a flat, here's what happened, this is what it is, you might want to dig a little deeper. You might want to access some content or do some research so that you can be a resource to other people, so that you can help them in their stuck situation. You can't, I like to say that you can only teach from the level which you can comprehend. Y'all can quote me on that one. I believe that. So you can, if you don't understand how the world works and how perception works, then you can't teach other people certain things about themselves. If you don't know that how you present yourself to the world matters, then you cannot teach someone else. I'll give you an example. I was at a conference, and I'm going to this amazing conference again this year, actually, PNC, Power Networking Conference. Power Networking Conference, excuse me. It is the largest black networking conference there is in this country, right? It's huge. It's a huge, huge conference. I'm going. I'll be teaching at this event. It's an amazing event. If anyone wants to go, let me know, because I got some insights. So PNC is a phenomenal event, and I'm there with my sister 2 years ago, and there's a woman getting ready to get on stage, and she's talking about money and finance. And I don't remember this woman's name, thank goodness, but I'll be straight up with you. She got on the stage and was telling people in the room, it's a room of 200 people in this one session, that now there's 1,500 people who come to the conference, but this room is about 200 people. And she says to them, I can help you make millions of dollars. I can help your business go to this level. You need to come and coach with me. And I look at her, and she don't look like $1 million. Straight like that. She didn't look like she didn't look like she had no $1 million. She didn't look like she touched $1 million. And by her attire, by how she was dressed, by her hair, she did not look like somebody I would trust with my money, that she was going to be able to get me to $1 million. Period. I was laughing, but I'm serious. I'm serious, guys. And I mean that, because that's perception. That is perception. That means that she did not think about that before. She did not think about how the world was going to view her before she got on that stage. She didn't think about that. That was something that never crossed her mind. That's y'all cracking up. I'm so serious. I'm serious. I really mean that, because that's a concern. So there's no way, as someone who has some money to invest, that I'm going to invest my money in her. I'm not going to trust it with her. Do you understand? Because I don't perceive that. I didn't get that from her. If you want people to trust you with that, with themselves, with their stories, they need to get from you that they can trust you. They need to get from you that you are a valuable resource, that they need to be able to go, oh yeah. She know what she's talking about. She's smart, she's quick, she's intuitive, or he's brilliant, he's firm, he's going to do this. Like you have to know and be able to present yourself to the world that way. Period. There's no way to go around it. And if you don't, you fall flat. And you have people like me who like, I ain't doing business with them. I'm not doing business with them. And it comes across in your writing as well. So be mindful of that. Pay attention to that when you write, when you compose, when you do that work, because it matters. It really, really, really matters. And y'all are cracking up, but I'm so serious. And my sister is a trip. So she and I are sitting there together, and I'm like, She's like, I ain't giving out no money. Just like that. I ain't. No, because that's how she was perceived. I don't know how she did. I don't know much about it. Thank goodness I don't remember, much about this woman. But that's another part. I don't remember much about her other than the fact that I wouldn't invest any money in her. So how she presented to the world was like, it was subpar. I could have done without it. But if you are going to be sharing your story, if you are going to position yourself to want to be a help to other people, to be an answer, as TD Jakes says, if you are going to do that, then you have to be aware of how people are going to perceive you. You have to control that. If that's all in your control, everything. How you look, how you speak, how you smell, how you wear your hair, all of that, how you write, what your book cover looks like, all of that you have total control over. So you need to make sure that you are taking control and doing the right things when it comes to your writing, when it comes to your marketing, when it comes to your branding. How do you want people to perceive you? Period. These are some systems. These are some structures that I have in place in my business. I keep things a certain way, a certain kind of streamline, and that's what it is. And perception works both ways. As an entrepreneur, as an influencer, there are things that you perceive from me because of what I do and how I give. There are things that I perceive from you based on how the questions that you ask. And I'll be really honest. There are things that pop up in my inbox and they go, well, can you do this? And I'm like, did y'all not look? Did y'all not go and Google or like go to the website? Y'all didn't do nothing. And so I'm like, this, you lazy. Are you lazy? I don't even know if I want to work with you because you're lazy, because you didn't do certain, you understand how that works together, because you have to understand that there is power in perception. The way that people view you and see you in the world will make or break the decisions they have in doing business with you. And it goes two ways. You could perceive me as a thought leader, or you can perceive me as someone who has a lot of information, and that's awesome. But there are, what are you talking about, Neo? This is realistically, when I get certain things from people, like, so I have an example, something came up in my inbox the other day, and I have a filtration system to get to me. I do, because I have a huge and enormous schedule. So you have to fill out something, and then something else comes to you, and then the second step, then you can go, got you. Then you can go and schedule an appointment. And I had somebody say, oh, that's too much work to fill out a questionnaire to get my time. That's too much work. So now I perceive this person as my immediate concern, like not even concern. I will it's very, very likely that I will not be doing business with that person. Why? Because that was hard work for you. So the perception that you give off to the world is that you don't want to do the work. Ooh, you know what that means? If you don't want to do the work in filling out a questionnaire, you ain't going to want to do the work when it comes to this book. You're not going to want to do the work that's required when it comes to coaching with Sheree, because I'm a bulldog in the text. So it's like, you got to understand that that's not, if that's an issue for you, now I perceive you as someone that I'm not going to want to do business with. So you have to be mindful of how you present yourself, mindful of the things that you say to people, mindful of how you compose all of it matters. All of it matters. If I got on here, and I could probably get on here without makeup. Makeup's a small thing. But if I got on here every morning, I'm picking my teeth, y'all, let me tell you about my day. Y'all gonna be like, well, who in the wretchedness? It would be a whole different scenario. It would be a whole different story. but because I need you to understand the value in what I have to say and the value in what this means for you in your writing, I know that I have to present myself differently. I have to present myself to you a certain kind of way. If not, you're not going to hear what I have to say. Yeah, sometimes it's like, oh, don't ignore the messenger, listen to the message, but you gotta be able to pay attention to the messenger. You gotta at least have some respect for the messenger. Does that make sense? And again, so I asked the question, how many of you here want to speak? You want to take your message and mentor and tutor or have workshops. You want to do something more with your story. And if that is what you want to do, if this is not just entertainment, if this is not just I'm putting my book together because I'm a fiction writer and I want to write creative fiction, then you have to consider other people and you have to consider how you present to the world. Can't get around it. Cannot get around it. If you want people to think that you're witty and charismatic, be witty and charismatic. Be kind. If you want people to think that you're a nice person, be a nice person to everybody. Not only to the people who can get you a leg up. Be nice to everybody. If you want people to receive you as, as aggressive and strong and stern, hey, be that. Be that. But think about that. Think about perception and how people perceive you. It really, really matters. I know I struggle with that in my business and keeping in pictures and I'm supposed to be posting a lot more of my stories and all kinds of stuff. I know I am, but it's hard for me sometimes. So it's like, I got to do that. I need people to see certain things. It's a perception. These things matter. They really, really matter. Good morning. Good morning. They really, really matter. Right. So I want you guys to think about that as you push through, as you write, as you compose, as you build a business, as you create businesses, as you build your brand, as you network, as you go places, as you meet people, as you do all kinds of things. I really, really want you to think about perception. I do. And it really matters. It does. And there's so much more that goes into that. Having lots of conversations with people all the time and business owners. Just if people perceive you as someone, and this happened recently with a friend of mine, there was a person that he wanted to get close to and wanted them to do something for him. An influencer, this person had a lot of clout, and they wanted him to do something for him. And his perception was like, well, I asked. Are you angry because you asked? Yeah, he just kind of, it was whatever. And I was like, well, you think about how many people ask this person, this influencer, for something every day. Every day. People ask this person for something every day. Every day. Think about that. As a person who gives information and knowledge and shares something with people all the time, and I'll be honest, I'm in the same position. People ask me for something every day. Total strangers ask me for something every day. Every day. Let that sink in. So if you are a person who is coming with their hand out asking for something, maybe you might want to have something in your hand. Maybe you might want to be perceived as different from everybody else who's always asking. Maybe you want to be the person who's like, let me give this to you. Let me gift you this. Because what you've done and what you're doing in my community, online, in these groups, whatever, has been impactful for me. It's made a difference for me. So let me give you this, and as people struggle with that, but it happens. And I say that from a place of an influencer, of a busy person, that it matters sometimes. And it's never a personal thing. It's never like, oh, this person just, it becomes a combination of the 72 other requests. And it's like, I can't do it all. But that person who works on how they're perceived, that want to make sure that that they're valuable and that they got something good to sow into your life, that person stands out. That person stands out. And if you want to stand out, you have to handle things differently. You have to let people perceive you a certain kind of way. So depending on what you want, you have to make sure you do the work to get that. Is that good? Is that good stuff for you guys? I hope that's clear. Hope that makes good sense for you guys. I thank you for your time as always. It's a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Got a ton of stuff to do. I have to eat some breakfast at some point if I pass out. But I thank you guys again for your time. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you. And I do want to know how many people want to be speakers, and is that something that you've considered? Have you thought about your perception? Answer that for me this morning. Have you thought about how the world is going to perceive you, receive you, all of those things? Let me know. All right. Thank you for the likes, hearts, and shares. I really, really appreciate it. Guys, I love you. Thank you, Facebook. And make sure you let me know in the comments. Let me know where you are. And I will get back with you guys really soon. All right. Have an awesome day, Facebook. Love you much.